feeling like I'm academics. Can't ride away.
Okay. Maybe we should start. Iceman's never dropping. No, it's definitely dropping. Okay, let's start on some media stuff. We'll kind of expand. We'll start, it's like housekeeping, Hey, my Breakfast Club-ites, okay? I've heard your cries loud and clear. Y'all are upset that iHeartMedia and the Breakfast Club has left y'all high and dry on YouTube. Well, come on over here to the Chat Nigga Academy. We got a space for all of y'all. Now, there's a lot of people that's upset that used to get up, and one thing about YouTube, and I love hearing these guys, and I'm even talking about my counterparts, like, listen, we make really amazing money, right? Like, we could flex and do whatever. We could talk shit to rappers if you want to. We see people getting, making, this amount of millions a year or whatever, 200, it doesn't matter. But listen, man, for the most part, and I acknowledge this, we're just giving the people what they want. You know what I mean? Most of the people who are at the top of this shit were great conversationalists. People get kind of used to us. Oh, okay, I know Charlamagne, I know Joe, I know Ak. Like, these are their personalities. I like when they break down something or give their opinion on something. I usually agree with them or disagree, or I think they're funny, whatever. Listen, this idea where we're like, making what we do to be like this extreme crazy shit. Listen, respectfully, I know these guys are acting like, listen, I know I do content too. I'm not making fucking movies over here, brother. Okay? Like, I acknowledge that. Okay? There's a lot of different levels to what I believe content is. However, what content that I do think it's necessary. Conversational content, whether it's podcasts, streaming, just doing regular videos on YouTube is necessary. Anyway, the Breakfast Club's core audience, which, if you don't know, I've never believed in radio ratings because, the Breakfast Club definitely lit in the Northeast, but, I've always thought the Breakfast Club beat Hot 97's ass because they use YouTube. Like, that's just reality of it. Like, it's YouTube. Like, it's YouTube. This is another reason why, I got, me and Twitch went through whatever we went through. I'm not on Twitch at the moment. But I'm okay because I ain't gonna lie to you. YouTube is the wave. You get what I'm saying? And even now, we're trying to get people to, rock with Kick a little bit more. But at the end of the day, we can't go cold turkey from YouTube. Why? It's really the plug to everything. So the Breakfast Club, and I remember, they've had 10 years of just dominating, and they grew like this amazing, loyal YouTube audience that, obviously Charlamagne has a star power. It's a great show still. But they got used to watching their interviews and their content from the Breakfast Club, maybe not through the radio, but on YouTube. If you guys ever listen to Hot 97, nobody listens to radio, let's be honest. But if you do, it's a horrible experience in comparison to the new Gen Z, or even just when people have a phone in their hands. You listen to 15 commercials, you listen to 3 songs you don't know or don't like, and then you hear one segment and they give you updates about the traffic. And then you got to wait another 25 minutes to get the same thing. It's kind of you're like, what the fuck am I listening to? So what most people do is they just listen to it on YouTube where they could cut out the bullshit they don't want to hear. And also, back in the day, they didn't play full interviews on the radio, so you would have to go online to get it. So online is where people watch a lot of the radio content. And what I was saying about content is that we're all doing the same thing. The reason why I haven't done much of my quote-unquote podcast off the record, because I believe that me streaming, a radio show is just like a podcast, just like a stream now. If you think differently, because you're in another world. It's all about packaging it, and if you're trying to get a deal, you'll package something for the deal. Like, oh, we have a podcast off the record. Bruv, off the record is just me. There's no extra sauce to it. Like, what the fuck? I just have a guest, seemingly, right? So, the Breakfast Club audience, they're mad. Let me tell you, and I'll show you some real quick things about, if you guys gave a fuck. Let me go to Social Blade real quick. This is a place you could kind of just check out, YouTube stuff. So you go here, you type in Breakfast Club, bing bang, bing bo. You go here, and essentially what I should tell you is that even with, the unfunny woman Just Hilarious on there, people were really fucking with this shit. You know what I mean? Like, and this is mostly because of, Charlemagne. He's the guy. To put in comparison, last year in March, they did 43 million views, okay? If you look over the span of like 5 years, it was constantly going up. But last March, they're doing 45 million views a month. Really fucking good. It's now March again, and they've came off their lowest viewed month, which is 13 million views, which just happened in February. But even if we go to February last year, it was 27, right? So again, their viewership has halved. Now, there's ebbs and flow with YouTube and this and third, and who knows what happens sometimes. I don't try to go off this, especially for bigger programs and people who've been here for a while. However, it's not just some random blip. It's not just some, like, maybe a new trend. It's not them taking a vacation. Apparently, their audience are leaving. That's what allegedly people are trying to say. You go to their channel now, Power 105 Breakfast Club, you'll notice a few things. They no longer put up full interviews. They'll put up 4-minute clips, like somebody named Trick Williams. I don't even know who this is. 4-minute clip. Ari Lennox was on there. 3-minute clip. You'll notice there's no clip on here that is like longer than 5 minutes, except the pure audio of the show. Their fans are upset. Now, for those people, come on over here. We got you. Come on. Joe got you, and I got you. But I do want to talk about this on a business level and be a little bit serious about it. So, what is happening? The Breakfast Club now publishes its podcast, because that's what it's categorized, even though it's a podcast, whatever you want to call it. It publishes it on YouTube. No, on Netflix now. So the idea is to try to get the Breakfast Club audience to Netflix to listen to the Breakfast Club. Well, here's the problem. The Breakfast Club audience, especially their YouTube audience, is different, I know, than their radio audience. Their radio audience is still there. But their YouTube audience have now realized that they got the rug pulled from underneath their feet. They got to go to Netflix to enjoy a podcast. Now, this was confirmed by Les Hilarious, the one who looked like a transgendered individual. She said,
I ain't gonna lie, yo, since Breakfast Club been on Netflix, man, our engagement, our people be, all the fans that we built up over time, well, that they built up, I just got here, that they built up over time on YouTube, oh my God, they feel neglected because Netflix was like, nope, we want all of it. Y'all can't have no other social media presence, none. So now we gotta find other content to do that can go on our other platforms, but it's okay because Just Hilarious got that in a bag, shorty. So make sure y'all tune into Just's Thoughts. I started doing a segment where
okay. So what's happening here, people? Once I heard this, I did a little bit of digging, and I had to kind of like look around. Because I'm here to give you a little bit of info and also a lot of truth. When I looked, and I said, I told you, if you clearly look at the Power 105 Breakfast Club, page, it's gutted. They don't got nothing on it no more. Netflix is managing their content. And by the way, you can't feel bad for the Breakfast Club. They've made a clear choice. By the way, they probably didn't make the choice. Now, obviously, Charlemagne is probably executive producer on the show at this point. So he probably has somewhat of a seat at the table. But this was an iHeartMedia choice, right? Breakfast Club isn't the only show that went over there for iHeartMedia. They signed a huge-ass deal with Netflix. It's a licensing deal. The Breakfast Club is supposed to be one of the main drawers or main, content, it's going to be a beacon to bring people over. And such is the case that they got to get the fuck up off YouTube. That's just what it is. Right? Now, I'm hearing that this deal is multi-year, right? So Netflix, iHeartMedia deal. I'm hearing it's, so it was for 15 popular podcasts. And apparently it was for, so iHeartMedia could only do audio distribution. Okay? So that's why you could only hear the audio now. Apparently it's supposed to begin in 2026, but we don't know how long it lasts. I did hear that it was a multi-year. Let's see. It was supposed to be a multi-year deal. Let me see. Here. Okay. We don't know how long it's going to last. And by the way, sometimes deal could get cut short. The point is this. I don't think the Breakfast Club, honestly, I don't think they had a choice in the matter, right? I think maybe Charlemagne had a voice in the conversation, but at the end of the day, the Breakfast Club is owned by iHeartMedia. I don't even think it's fair to blame Charlemagne. The thing is owned by iHeartMedia. They've been looking for new ways to make additional revenue, and I would imagine if Netflix comes to them to say, hey, listen, we need 15 of your podcast or radio show and podcast, and we'll give you, I don't know, let's make up a number. Charlemagne got a $200 million deal. Imagine they said, yo, we'll give you $1 billion for 2-3 years. You think the company's going to be like, no, but what about the YouTube listeners? Like, I say, fuck them, right? So, yeah, that's kind of what it is. I don't really necessarily blame the Breakfast Club. It is what it is. Like, it kind of reminds me of my Spotify deal. Yo, let me just explain to you, like, literally how shit works. So, even with Spotify, like Spotify saw me killing shit on YouTube, sees I have like a loyal audience. They're like, we want to convert the audience. And we're like, all right, well, how about we do something where you have it, what we're doing on both? They're like, nah, we prefer not to. Like my deal was like, yo, we couldn't put out over 15 minutes of every podcast. So I did something with 6ix9ine. Obviously, I'm breaking every fucking rule. Like, come on. It's a big act. I'm breaking every rule, gang. Like, you got to come hit me. Every single time they were like, hey, thought we said 15 minutes. You put out like 30. I'm like, yo, I did a 3-hour pod, nigga. Like, the contract says an hour and a half I got to do. I did twice as much. Chill out. Let the chef cook. I'm cooking up over here. You feel me? But, yeah, that's kind of what's happening. That's kind of what is happening. So, essentially, well, not Charlemagne, but iHeartMedia signed a Spotify deal. What was the Spotify deal? And by the way, it's not going to last forever. The Spotify deal was, I was the last. I was, okay, they got of all Joe's subscribers that would stay with Spotify. They milked him, for 2 years. They're trying to milk the Breakfast Club of all their conversions for probably 2 years. They'll send it back to Radio 2 and send it back to YouTube. So I think Charlamagne should just keep it 100 with niggas and be like, yo, bruv, listen, they gave us a B, or, well, I guess that would be the company who's saying that. Yo, they gave the company a B. I got my 200 mil. Fuck that shit. Yo, we'll be back in 2 years, gang. Like, that's just what it is. Like, yo, you know what I mean? Like, the thing is, there's no good way to, like, explain to the audience but the truth. Like, there's no good way to explain it. Right? I know with my deal with Spotify, and this is why you're hearing Les Hilarious say the shit that she's saying, because in my deal, they licensed everything off the record. What my lawyer did that carved it out was my streams was valid, my YouTube so nothing that's not off the record was good. So like many of my audience didn't really complain because it's only off the record, right? The only thing that matters is when your entire program, they just uproot. So the thing with like, is when it comes to a streamer or like somebody like me, I'm doing like 5 different things, right? Like remember I used to be off the record, I'm doing that. I'm doing YouTube updates. So they're only getting one vertical of what I'm doing. The thing is with the Breakfast Club, I don't even know if Les Hilarious does comedy shows anymore. Like she's only synonymous, at least for me, for the Breakfast Club. And even though Charlamagne does Brilliant Idiots, I still think his biggest thing is the Breakfast Club. So for them, it's put them in a weird spot, right? It's taken their main thing and put it on Netflix. And now what she's really alluding to is that it's not that they're owned by Netflix, but they got to make other shit other than Breakfast Club. And you don't really have incentive for that, right? Because your money's coming from the Breakfast Club. So they want to keep the audience. You know what you got to do? Y'all got to do like an extra pod when y'all go meet up at y'all crib or do some other shit or start vlogging with each other or, I don't know, stream with each other. And even that might be like, you know, in the license where if y'all do it in the iHeart building, Netflix has rights to that, right? That you can't go around it. So they're kind of in a pickle. They'll be fine. It's money plays. I can't knock it. Also, Breakfast Club been popping for 15 years. Bro, there's always going to be a cash out at some point, brother. You know what I mean? Like, yo, my nigga Charlamagne put the work in. At this point, if he agreed to get whatever bag he got and iHeart agreed to sell the license for the show to Netflix for whatever it is, yeah. Now, let me be honest. And when y'all talk about deals, this is why I love when there's some YouTube commentators who all they do is like, yo, they talk about like Joe Budden like he's a Fortune 500 company. They're like, yo, so with the Joe Budden Network, and I'm like, all right, perfect, cool. They talk about Charlamagne like that too. Matter of fact, they talk about entire podcasting like that. It's like, yo, bro, half of the niggas on Kick make more than like 99% of media niggas. Like, what? Like, I went to Spotify already. This is why I told my lawyer, stop taking me offers for deals. I don't want to hear no more deals. These niggas not giving you no more money that you ain't gonna make yourself. The only thing looks good, and I didn't regret the Spotify situation. It's like an attractive badge next to your name. Spotify's host, DJ Akademiks. Yeah, that looks good until the first time you get in trouble. Spotify's like, whoa, we don't know that nigga like that. They never did that to me because the bullshit happened after them. But still, you make the same amount with them or without them, bro. Like, honestly. So that's why I'm like, yo, bro, I'm not about to do that. Right? So, when you think about it, I don't have a problem with it. But it's the same old deals over and over. I'm glad that, you know, and I guess this is the last part I'll speak about this. This is another thing, these type of deals don't work. Again, I've been in the deal. I know why it doesn't work. Yo, it's easier to get a Twitch audience to kick than to get people to completely switch mediums. Y'all can't compete with YouTube. You can't, like, you're going to convert less than 20% of your audience from YouTube to any other platform. You can't, like, that competing with YouTube shit won't work because YouTube is just like, it's like Apple iPhones, my nigga. It's synonymous with how people get their shit, right? Like, I'll give you another, and actually, let me change that up. Because let's say if you're streaming on YouTube, right? Say Speed. Speed is on YouTube. He streams. If Speed goes over to Twitch, a lot of his people will go there because that's in the same ecosystem. When people watch streams, they watch YouTube, Twitch, and Kick, and Rumble. It's in the same thing. The problem with like Spotify and these other places and with Netflix is they want to change up user behavior. Nobody in the history of time has ever opened up their Netflix app to say, let me see Donkey today. It won't start tomorrow. It never was a thing. Love Charlamagne. Very entertaining. It is what it is. One thing with people, there's so much options these days. There's so much entertainment that they could pick from. When you force people to do too much or you just instantly, like, they should have phased it out. Like, yo, if you want the other half of the show, go here. Oh, we got this extra segment, go here, and kind of wean them off a bit. When you just go cold turkey, it's like some, I ain't gonna lie to you, like, my Spotify numbers was good, like, at least in comparison, at least when they tell me with the other niggas that was on Spotify. But the Spotify shit paled in comparison to my YouTube numbers. Nigga, I'm on YouTube spanking them, giving them belt. On Spotify, I was just like, because at least at that time in Spotify, they're still trying to make people think of Spotify as a podcast place. People thought of it as a music place. Right now, people think of Netflix as a TV and movie place. Now, granted, this is what I believe is going to happen. Remember I told you when it came to the podcast game, they signed Joe, they signed me. They signed Rogan, they signed Caller Daddy. Obviously, Rogan and Caller Daddy lasted beyond me and Joe. But by the time they got to around year 4, And all these, like, I looked at their executive thing before I even made this, or I even talked about this. They all think the same. This is what Netflix is going to do. Print it, and you're going to see me. I'm like an oracle. They're going to invest in podcasts for 4 years. They want to not only compete with YouTube, they kind of want to compete with Spotify, even though I think there's some synergy with them at Spotify later on. So this situation with Breakfast Club is probably for 2 years guaranteed. 2 years guaranteed, because no one's going to leave their platform and do 1 year tests. There's going to be like at least 2 year with options, okay? Okay. So, the stream turned off. So 2 years guaranteed, and we'll see if they renew it or they'll try to acquire other shows. Here's the point. In 4 years, so right now it's 2026, by 2030, they're not doing no more of these deals. Because they'll realize we have converted as many people as we can through podcasts from YouTube. And we're going to give up on that, and we're just going to build our own shit here. Or we're going to take the top 2 or 3 that work and just keep rocking with them. That's what Spotify did. Nigga, that's why Joe Rogan's still there. Like, it's not, there's no feelings involved. This is just business, right? So, essentially, and I know this might sound crazy to people, the Breakfast Club is going through exactly what the Joe Budden podcast went through when they first went to Spotify. Except iHeart is making the call. So iHeart makes the call. And, these hosts, they'll be fine because I think their money's going to be guaranteed as long as they do the deliverables. But the hosts are smart enough to know, damn, our audience is leaving. They just got to do other shit to kind of get the audience kind of engaged. So that's what it is. I heard Charlamagne spoke about this real quick. What did he say? Charlamagne addresses Netflix. What did he say? Please come to Netflix. She did not say that. Yo, who comes up with this bullshit? Is it this?
What makes y'all
Okay.
working out some kinks now? He did accept a lot of at the top of the, but then they turned it off.
Here we go.
You got to be consistent every day.
Okay.
For signing up through me, free cash. Because of Netflix, that's because they don't be getting on the Twitch. You got to get on the Twitch every morning. I think that
Breakfast Club is on Twitch.
Y'all know as well as I do that anything you're doing, you got to be consistent. You got to be consistent every day. They don't be getting on Twitch. Y'all not gonna sit here and blame everything on Netflix, okay? Y'all got to stop being ridiculous. All right, like the fact that and we were just on a little while ago when we was on, there was a bunch of people on here, but then they turned it off. How long did we used to go on Twitch before?
From 8 to 9:15.
So like an hour and 15 minutes. Mm-hmm. So now y'all get an hour and y'all it's complaining? Yeah, that's right. Yes, somebody said we blaming Netflix for everything. So what? Y'all, yes, I understand.
Yo, the fans got to realize, man, Charlamagne and the rest of them got to eat, bruv. They gave y'all quality entertainment for a long time. Like, how long y'all think Charlotte was going to keep driving that 99, beat up truck outside? He obviously had to get some raise. He had to get his 200 M's. DJ Envy got about 17 kids. I'm playing around, okay? Envy, don't get sensitive. Listen, this is business. You know what I mean? And again, everybody's done these deals. So I'm not knocking them. It's just that the audience going to have to either just tap back in 2 years or just sit in the YouTube comments and complain.
You want just...
Oh, and by the way, also what I did want to say, when I went to Spotify, bro, I like being everywhere. You know why? When you're not everywhere, you could feel like you're not hitting your potential. The moment y'all are off YouTube, it feels like you're not hitting your potential. Trust.
This you chocolate turtle looking.
Damn. I know that's right.
But the reality is, thank you, Trey No Song. He said, I be tuned in on Netflix. I mean, tens of millions of people are tuned in on Netflix.
Okay, so that's a big point he just made. Like I told y'all.
Yo, I'd be surprised if tens of millions of people are watching The Breakfast Club on Netflix. Yo, I know everybody want to act like they got listen, The Breakfast Club is like Vlad TV, bro. It's like No Jumper. It's like my stream, my nigga. Like, there's nobody going from watching like Stranger Things to be like, no, oh, there's a new Breakfast Club. Oh my God, let's get to the Breakfast Club shit. Oh my God. Oh, Rory and oh my God. Cut Stranger Things off. Fuck Love Island. Let's go watch that. Bruv, it's not happening. Like, yo, it's cool. Like, it's not happening. You know what I mean? It's not gonna happen. Right? So, like, I mean, I would love to see what that is. But, you know what I mean? Are there people gonna watch? Of course. It's just, you know, whatever they lost in YouTube viewers, I think 20% is going.
I know. I mean, listen, that is the goal. I mean, it's not even a goal. It's only a matter of time.
Who on here? Who from the chat watches Breakfast Club on Netflix? I'm telling you, there's a lot of them.
They said you going viral right now because you said
what?
You said Netflix sucks or some shit like that.
No, the fuck I didn't. I said we have to find other exclusive content.
You said Netflix sucks?
Outside. No, I did not. Stop. I'm trying to get my special. I would never say that.
Somebody said Breakfast Club is not a movie, bro. Netflix is for long form. What do you think Breakfast Club is?
Now, that's where I disagree with Charlamagne. It's put it like this. Netflix has a prestige. It feels like it's a reason why they charge you $20 a month. When you pay that $20, it feels like you paid for a theater. And you wouldn't, I don't know how to say it without being disrespectful, but I'm a part of that same mix too. Like, they're going there for super produced, we can't get this nowhere, only niggas with Netflix could watch this. They're going there for TV shows, and not to knock the content. How could I say this? Because I don't want to think people think that, you know, Charlamagne is my man. And also, I've done this deal. This is the Joe Budden Spotify deal, Akademiks Spotify deal, and the iHeartMedia Netflix deal. Same thing. If anyone tries to like act like one's better than the other, it's the same fucking thing. Same thing. Okay? Same thing. Okay, how could I say this?
What makes y'all say that?
Okay, how could I say this without coming off this? Okay, I know how to say it. It might come off still disrespectful because anytime I think about trying to give a good analogy, the analogy is worse. That's why when I said, remember when I asked the question to take off? Okay. All right. So, this, what was I going to say? Oh, yeah. The problem with people checking out The Breakfast Club on Netflix, it's like the bitch you usually fuck when you bring, like, you fuck at a motel in the back of your car and you bring a Cutwater, and now she's saying you got to bring her to STK, you got to buy her some Chanel, you got to bring her some flowers, and then you could possibly, like, fuck at the end of the night at the W. You're going to be like, bitch, are you fucking stupid? Like, yo, you can't give people the milk for free and then announce one day this shit costs $20. That's the problem. So what's, you know, even with Off the Record, you know, yeah, obviously I keep telling you, like, my audience is on YouTube. But Off the Record never existed before YouTube. So it just appeared on Spotify. So people are like, all right, this is the only way we could get Off the Record. The Breakfast Club been on YouTube for 10 years. They've been getting the milk for free. This the bitch you fuck 4 a.m. She still answer. She suck your dick for 3 hours. Feel like she don't got teeth, all gums. You've never linked with her in daylight. No dates. Only condoms and Plan B. And then now she's like, yo, how come you ain't get me like the hotel room with all the flowers for Valentine's Day? You're like, bitch, I've never been seen with you in public. What are you talking about? She's like, yo, how come you don't take me on a date? Then she says, yo, matter of fact, if you want to fuck with me, so you got to take me on a date. You got to do this. After a while, a nigga going to be like, I'm good. I'm going to just find another bitch, man. Fuck that. That's the problem. The Breakfast Club was basically the cheap content you could get. Just like me. Like, it's still, like, put it like this. You know, a lot of what we do here, we're doing it for free. And as much as I know the little business YouTubers who treat all this shit like this is Fortune 500 companies, they're going to love this part. That's why Joe's strategy, I actually think Joe has the best strategy. Because how do How do you actually monetize free content? Well, you have to phase it. Like Joe Budden saying he made $20 million from subscribers. He had to, little by little, hey, we're offering this new thing, this new thing, this new thing, if you pay more. But we're still giving you the same shit. So we're still giving you the same shit, but if you want this extra shit, come on over. If you want this extra shit, yo, from what I'm hearing, Joe got like 10 shows behind a paywall. I didn't even know. I seen some shit recently and say, yo, this is a rewind. I'm like, rewind? What the fuck? Hey, but it shows that, maybe Joe has the fucking secret formula for business. Because what happened at the Breakfast Club shows corporate greed. I don't think Charlamagne made this call. I think whoever runs iHeart made this call. And they're not going to be like, wait, so you want us to go to Joe Budden method and give them a little and then a little and a little? No, fuck that. Let's get the $1 billion now and go cold turkey. Fuck that. And it seems like that's wrong. Anyway, I don't want to keep dragging this. Let me see what else they say. I'll get off.
That like y'all like I don't understand. I don't get the logic. Like you have to tell me why y'all feel that way. I'm here to listen. Like tell me why. Tell me why y'all think people are losing on Netflix.
Oh, geez.
Because none of y'all are taking into consideration the Netflix audience, which is so weird to me. I mean, we're talking about Netflix, the biggest streaming platform in the world.
Charlamagne's making a classic mistake. A classic mistake. You know what he says? Well, y'all just keep saying what we're losing from YouTube. But what about the Netflix audience? Brother, the Netflix audience also have YouTube. If they wanted, Netflix doesn't have some new audience that that you didn't find on YouTube. If they ass didn't watch you for free, they didn't pay to watch you now. Like realistically. So like I get it when you're like, oh, like I think what he means to say is that Netflix is gonna force feed them in front of paying subscribers, and maybe they'll catch on. But there is no new Netflix audience. There's nobody on earth that has Netflix that don't got YouTube. So everybody who has YouTube could have seen you for free. There's lesser people who have Netflix who got to pay to see you. You're not finding a new audience. You get what I'm saying?
Where it's, somebody said y'all are, bro. It's an urban audience versus a mainstream audience. That is stupid. Who said that? Real Kalo 1. So all of the stuff y'all watch on Netflix that's black are urban. First of all, that's how I know you a bot or something to say urban.
Yeah, he a fucking clown.
You know
Since he jumped on here, he been just saying goofy shit.
All the stuff on Netflix that's black that people watch every day. Y'all think that like what do you mean? I don't even know what that means. Like it don't even make no
yeah,
sense.
I feel like he's just trying to make niggas mad. Like, yeah, clown.
Why don't y'all scream as much on Twitch anymore? I don't know. That has nothing to do with nothing. I don't know why they don't be turning it on. Exactly. What? And when we start going live, that's when it's gonna be even better. What? 150 million global views a day or
Crazy.
some shit like that. Like
a day? Damn.
It's an audience, you guys. And it's all around the world, all times of the day. Exactly. And when we start going live, that's when it's gonna be even better.
Yo, chat, I know these numbers, bro. Listen, it's a reason why they don't show the numbers for individual shows. Like, my nigga, your highest numbers are going to be on YouTube. Facts. I know this. You know this.
Somebody said I was only beefing because I thought Netflix was against y'all screaming. If that's not it, tell Eli get on his shit. No, that's on us. All we got to do is turn the scream on. They don't be turning the scream on. I have faith that will be fixed this week.
Wait, what?
All the interviews will always be up early because we taped the interviews the day before. So being that we taped the interviews the day before, Netflix gets them a day before, but they're working on faster turnaround for the actual show. And I have faith that will be fixed this week. I have faith that this week will be the week that you start seeing faster turnaround time on Netflix, because I have expressed to them over and over that we are a morning show. Our stuff need to be up in the morning. So let me see. It's 8:51 now. The show is done at 9.
Well,
it's done at 9. We should be up by 10:30.
10, yeah, I say 10.
Breakfast Club is on Netflix during dinner time. I mean, we're on Netflix all day. Of posts on Netflix.
Oh, word.
As a huge setback.
All right. Yeah. I mean, it is what it is. If you're a Breakfast Club follower, bro, niggas got the bag, bro. Like, I don't know what to tell y'all. Right? If you like Charlemagne, go watch his podcast. He has Brilliant Idiots. But Brilliant Idiots belongs to Netflix. No, I mean, Breakfast Club belongs to Netflix. So get over it. All right. Anything else on that I should talk about? Anything else?
Funny as hell. I think, what is the International Women's Month for something? And Miss Jaw.
Okay, anyway. So there was no contract? Yeah, no, they have a contract, you know? It's a contract. Bro, they're getting mad money for that shit. You get what I'm saying? Yo, Netflix got so much money to dump, I guarantee it's a shit ton of a bag. Think about this. I know what they gave me. Netflix gave me for a show that never existed. Off the Record did not exist before Spotify. Never existed. The money they gave me as one person, right? For 2, possibly 3 years. Now, if they have proof that a show's already working, they have an audience they could already have numbers on. Like, Spotify couldn't even really do numbers on me. So they were like, hey, well, let's see your demographics for YouTube. Let's see your demographics for Twitch. Let's see your demographics for whatever. And I was like, nigga, here it all is. And they're like, all right, cool. All right, there's some people here. Shit, they got mad data with the Breakfast Club. iHeart got all the data. And they gave him 15 shows. Just off of that, let me do the math. So I know what I got. I'm going to just imagine every show is going to get at least what I'm going to get. Yeah, this is a deal that's close to $1 billion for 2 to 3 years. If it's 2 to 3 years, yeah, it's close to $2 to $3 billion, man. Like, duh. No, it's close to $1 billion. I mean, it's close to $1 billion. I wouldn't be surprised if it's a 3-year $1 billion deal. First year, 300,000. Second year, or it might be like something like 250. No. Oh my God, I'm fucking up. First year, 250 mil. Second year, 350 mil. Last year, 450 mil. That's kind of how I'm looking at, or 500 mil, you know, or however it goes, 400 mil, whatever. I could see it like that. All right, good for them. For all the people who are sad that they are not posting no interviews, come over here, man. All right, in other like